Push P. Yeah, push P. Turn me up. Turn me up, P. Corners in the paddock, gave my piece. Push P. Cop new hammers for my piece. We don't want no.
Hello, wonderful people of YouTube. This is Cree Cree. Thank you so much for clicking on my video once again. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas, and here's to having a very prosperous 2024. I speak that into existence for everybody. So as we are coming to a close on 2023, we are also concluding celebrating our 50th year of hip-hop. Hip-hop has been a huge staple in my life, and I'm an 80s baby, so me and hip-hop, we practically grew up together, you know what I'm saying? When you think of female rappers, just even going all the way back to the beginning, when you think of your old school female rappers, you think of who? You think of MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo, Moni Love, and then when you come into the 90s, we got The Brat, Left Eye, Lil Kim, Foxy Brown. Ushering in the 2000s, you got Trina and Eve and Remy Ma. And then the 2010s was nobody but Nicki Minaj at this point. I mean, if you want to put Iggy Azalea in there somewhere, I guess you can. And then, you have today's rappers. We have Megan Thee Stallion and Doja Cat and Sexy Red and Suki. So we think of all of these women, but there's actually one woman that, in my opinion, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be hearing the stuff that we're hearing today. Everybody wants to give that credit to Lil Kim. Oh, well, Lil Kim started it all. Foxy Brown was the one that began it. But that's not entirely true. There's some truth to it because they're the ones that made it mainstream. But there is actually one female that started it all before we even knew who Lil Kim and Foxy Brown was. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a woman by the name of Kim Davis, aka Choice. So who is Choice, you ask? Well, Choice, in my opinion, is the mother of female raunchy rap. That raunchy rap that don't talk about nothing but sexcapades, if you will. She was the first lady of Rap-A-Lot Records. So that means that she was under the tutelage of the Ghetto Boys, J. Prince, Scarface, Willie D, Bushwick, Big Mike, all of them. She came out with her debut album in 1990 titled The Big Payback, which garnered one single and video called Payback that was kind of a diss track of sorts to the heavy-hitting male rappers back in that time, which was NWA, Ghetto Boys, and Too Short. It seemed all in good fun. I thought the video was hilarious, to be totally honest. And then she released her second album in 1992 titled Stick and Move. She had one video from that album called Heaven in Vineyard Positive. I can't say what I want to say. You all take it from there. Heaven in Vineyard. You get it. YouTube got too many rules, so I'm not trying to do nothing to make them mad. Okay? So yeah, take the first letter out of each of them words and put that together and figure it out from there. And then after that video, we practically never heard from her again. She just disappeared off the face of the earth. She busted onto the scene real quick and disappeared just as quickly. And nobody knows what happened to her. So Kim Davis was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. Not much is known about her age, but I'm going to make a rough guesstimate and say that she was born roughly between the years of 1968 and 1972. So now that would put her in the early to mid 50 range, which means back then when that album first came out in 1990, she would have been anywhere between the ages of like 18 and like maybe 22. That's a rough guesstimate. It was said that she relocated to Houston in later years, around maybe late teens, early 20s, and I'm guessing that she probably moved to Houston to try to pursue the music career that she eventually started. And let's see, in 1990, I was 9 years old. I had absolutely no business listening to that at 9 years old. And I remember when I was floored, like, what? She said, what? You did what? Oh man, it was, oh boy, that was a time. That was a time to be alive, I tell you. And you know, a lot of the later millennials and Gen Zers will probably listen to it and be like, oh, she basic, she whack, she didn't really talk about nothing. You know, I seen some comments on there with, oh, she looked trans or something. But you know, at that time, that's the style of rapping that was going on back then. But you know, the word metaphor and the flows and the style of rapping back in the late 80s, early 90s, I mean, it was that golden era. It was a simpler time. But I mean, that's what was going on. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics from like the very beginning of hip-hop in the late 70s, early 80s, it was more simplified than that. It's evolved over time. So I'm like, at that time, that's what everybody was listening to, and that's how everybody rhymed. And you know, this was a time, you know, everybody wasn't doing plastic surgery and implants and facelifts and stuff like that. We wore our natural beauty with pride back then. Can't really say that for these chicks that's out here now, but I mean, she was cool for what she was. I didn't see nothing wrong with her. Shoot, 9-year-old me thought she was hella cool. I just wanted to kind of take this time to just talk about her a little bit, because I feel like she needs to be recognized. I feel like that, well, maybe she needs her flowers while she's still here, if she is still here. Make people aware of who she was and the impact that she left on the industry in the short time that she was here. Because, you know, everybody want to give that credit to Lil' Kim and Foxy. Oh, well, Lil' Kim crawled so Nicki Minaj could walk and Megan Thee Stallion could run. And like I said, that has some truth to it, because they were the ones that made it mainstream. They were the ones that kind of glamorized it and everything. But when Choice first did it back in 1990, that was practically unheard of. Wasn't nobody doing no stuff like that back then. I can remember back in the day, I remember 9-year-old me sneak in my brother's room when he wasn't there, going to grab that big Payback tape and then scurrying back to my room and popping it in my little Panasonic tape recorder and playing all the tracks. Ain't skipping. Well, I can't skip nothing because it was on a cassette tape, so you wasn't skipping nothing. You just rewinding and fasting forward. And then I had to turn the volume down real low so my mama couldn't hear, because like I said, wasn't nobody talking like that back then. Well, not no woman. Women wasn't talking like that back then. Maybe the men was, because they was like that. I mean, we all remember NWA and how they was. Yeah, but wasn't no women talking like that. Back then, the raunchiest female rappers that I remember that was, I guess, a little more mainstream was like Salt and Pepper. You know, when Push It came out back in the late 80s, you know, people made a big fuss about that. Talking about Push It real good. And, you know, they made that controversial and made them seem like that they was doing something wrong. And then, you know, Oaktown 357, when they came out with Juicy got them crazy. And yeah, wasn't nobody ready for that, but definitely wasn't nobody ready for Choice at all. Like, at all. But I can guarantee you that a lot of that really wasn't her. I don't think that was really something that she really wanted to do, but coming into a male-dominated industry and a very male-dominated label like Rap-A-Lot Records was and still is, sometimes you just gotta do what you think that you need to do in order to make it. And it garnered her a little attention for a short period of time, but then she disappeared and was never seen again. So that kind of gives me an indication that maybe it's just not something that she wanted to do in the long run. I will say this though, and a lot of the articles that I read when I was trying to research her, everybody seems to think that she actually made her debut in 1989 on Willie D's debut album, Controversy. And I think the song was I Need Some P.U. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, child. But there was a track on there, I Need Some and well, she was the feature on that song, and everybody think that was her when she made her debut, and that actually is not true. Willie D actually debunked that rumor maybe about 10 or so years ago. He did an interview with therealhiphop.com. It was around like maybe 2012, 2013. And he briefly talked about his dealings with Choice back then, and did mention that she was not the one that was on that song. There was another young lady that was the original Choice that they had that was on that song, because he even said if you listen to the voice on that song and listen to the voice on the Big Payback album, they're two different people. But that original girl, she ultimately quit because her mama didn't want her to do it. Because her mama was deeply religious and, heavily in the church. And once she realized the type of music that her daughter was rapping, she was like, oh no, honey, you can't serve two masters, not in my house. You gonna have to pick and choose a side. And ultimately that young lady hung it up and chose to continue her Christian walk in the Lord. And that left that spot open. And that's when Kim Davis eventually came and took that spot. Jay Prince brought her in to take that spot. I don't know if she is actually the one that wrote a lot of her material. When I listen to the songs, it gives me very much a strong Ghetto Boys, Willie D type of vibe. So I'm thinking that maybe her stuff might have been ghostwritten, but if you look in the credits on her songs, they has her as the composer. So maybe she put some stuff in there. Maybe, added a word or, replaced a word or something like that. Because, technically when you do that, you get a writing credit. So she could have done that, but I don't think she wrote a lot of that stuff herself. That's just my opinion, But the Big Payback, it did garner enough attention to where it at least made it in the top 50. I believe it charted at number 46. And Stick and Move, the second album, it made it at least in the top 100. I think it made it like, what was it, around like maybe number 83, 82, 83, somewhere in there. But like I said, after that, we just never heard from her again. Nobody knows what happened. She just disappeared like a thief in the night in the wind, and that was it. I actually did like her video though, the one that she did for Heaven in Vineyard Positive. It was comical, but it definitely left a positive message. I mean, the video was, it was a little comical, because that dude in that video, I guess he's supposed to be the finest thing around. I mean, he was alright. But it left a message that definitely garnered true and still relevant to this day. There are some people that will argue that the song and the video that she did for Payback, for that first album, was the beginning of the demise of her career, because she went after her label mates, which is the Ghetto Boys. But I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that's entirely true, just for the simple fact that it had to go through Jay Prince and all of them to even get the green light to get added to the album. So I mean, if that was the case, the song would have never even came out. So it's like it had to go through plenty of ears and hands before it got okay to put on the final cut. So I don't think that really had anything to do with it. Maybe Willie D had felt some kind of way about that, because he did an answer to that diss track in 1992 called Little Hooker. That was supposed to be a direct jab at her for her song Payback. A lot of people say that is the reason that she disappeared, that she just could not handle that. No, that wasn't something that she was with, and she left. I don't know that to be true, but that's just what's being put out there. Where Miss Kim Davis is now, I have no idea. Okay, I have scoured and searched all over these internets looking for anything about her, about what's going on now, and I have not been able to find anything. I'm hoping that she is living her best life. I'm hoping that she's being prosperous. I'm thinking that maybe, she probably pulled a vanity, you know what I'm saying, and gave her life to the Lord, and is probably heavily religious and just left that life behind and don't even want to talk about it. I don't know, but I'm hoping that wherever she is, that she is doing well, and I hope that she knows the impact that she left on hip-hop. She truly made her mark in hip-hop history, and she's definitely not forgotten. Somebody get a hold of her. Somebody tell her to call Vlad. Do an interview with Vlad, or or Art of Dialogue or 5150 or something. I mean, somebody, come on. We just need to know where you at. We just need to know you all right and what you doing with your life. And like I said, hopefully it's good things. Hopefully good things came to her life even after this brief stint in the spotlight that she had back 30 plus years ago. I just wanted to give this young lady her flowers while she may still be here, and just wanted to let her know that she is remembered. She's definitely unforgotten. If you go in the comments on some of the songs and the videos that's out here on YouTube, and I think her stuff might be on iTunes maybe or Spotify, but if you look in the comments, people are always asking where she's at, what's she doing. We want to hear from her again. Just something. Hopefully maybe 2024, maybe that'll be the year. Maybe that'll be the year that she come out the trenches and tell us what's been going on with her. Lil' Kim and Foxy might have crawled so Nicki and Megan and Doja and Lotto and everybody else could run, but Choice had to dig herself out the trenches, got the gutter out the ground just so Kim and Foxy could even crawl. But Sister Kim, where you at, girl? Where you at? Come on out, show your face, come on out of hiding. We want to see you and make sure you all right, sister. That's all I got for y'all for right now. Tell me what y'all think. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments. If you remember Choice, what's your favorite song by her? Do you like her videos? Yeah, let's talk about it. So that's my time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see y'all next time. My name's Cree Cree. Y'all be easy.